Hello guys, today is day 15 of the 625 MCQ series. So about the test series and all, 2021 there is no test series available, so please don't come and ask. 2021 exam is just 12-15 days away, and so there is no package available. Okay, 2022 batch 1 was already started, and now 2-3 months have gone, and people would have got at least 25 to 30 tests, and ours is a big test series, around 100 tests are there, and it will go till next year. And a batch 2, okay, for people who may be giving the exam on October 10th, maybe after, if you could not clear it, maybe you want a new batch, we are planning a batch, and that will be announced soon. Okay, it will be announced this week itself. September 30 we are the maximum. Okay, before that I will put it here on YouTube, so with the timetable, because we always give a 1 year timetable for you to study daily, what to study, and when will be the test happening, all those things will be there. Prelims and mains both will be there, so that will be announced. So please wait for that, because I get a lot of queries, so I thought of telling in this video. And about the videos which we put out, many students are ready to come and watch all the unwanted videos, like what is the cutoff, what is the this thing, how to wake up early, how to motivate yourself. This kind of nonsense videos is what every YouTuber is putting, and that is what you people are watching. But when it comes to the lectures, okay, there are like less than 100 views for certain videos, so you are going to regret it after the exam when you see that questions came directly from these videos, because I'll be myself doing it. Okay, after October 10, I'll be putting out the analysis video. We will do a Vysh versus UPSC video, which we have been doing since last 3 years. Every year 100 plus marks have come from my lectures and tests, so this year also it will come, that's a guarantee. So when we do that, if you see that, okay, this video had maybe 2 questions from that or 2 questions from this, that time you will regret it. So please try to watch whatever is prelim specific. Okay, for your need only, we have shut down the ethics and society and independence and all these mains lectures. What was going on in full fledged, we have halted everything just for your sake. So please see to it that whatever is coming out now is for your prelim sake. Please watch them. Okay, you can go and search it. Okay, everything what is now latest put is only prelim sake. No other mains videos have been put out in the last 1 week, and it will be like that for the next 2 weeks also. So please see to it that you watch it and take benefit out of it. And if you are enrolled to my test series, revise it very nicely. Okay, all the tests are important. 100 plus tests are given to you. Many bonus tests are given to you. Please go and revise it. Many more tests are there. 6-7 tests in the next 12 days you will get. Okay, every 3 days or 2 days you will get one full test, 100 MCQs, which in like 3 hours 4 hours you can simply finish it off. So like that, and from that questions also will come, so you won't have to revise it again, because you read it freshly just before the exam, and you will remember it. Okay, when the options are there, you will remember it. So please be ready for every day to study from Vysh, and we guarantee you that our students will not be disappointed if you study the right way. If you accumulated it or you are studying with other materials and all, then maybe you will not able to complete that. We can't do anything. Okay, now about this today's session. Okay, because else it will go lengthy. Watch all the playlists as I told, and marks try to get more than 15. If it's not, try to revise again. So which are the following are true about National Consumer Disputes Redressal Mechanism? Okay, a commission. Okay, this commission, it's in national level, central level, everywhere is there. So here the commission can be headed only by a retired Supreme Court judge. It has been also conferred the powers of administrative control over all the state commissions. So this one, it's like extreme statements only is there, all is there, but the second statement is true. Okay, and the first statement is wrong, because it's not only the retired Supreme Court judge, it is a sitting or retired judge. Okay, and various sections are given here. You should know this is a quasi-judicial commission. It is set up under this thing, so it's a statutory body. Then section 21, 23 is given. So what is the section here? One is more than 1 crore value. Okay, should be there for the complaints which is raised to the National Commission. Okay, consumer, any dispute, any complaint you have, it should be something worth value more than 1 crore if you have to go to the national level, and after that it can be appealed to the Supreme Court also. Okay, but other things I'll tell you, other state level, district level, how it is. And here it is like, it is mandating establishment of this consumer protection councils at the center as well as in each state and district. Okay, so everywhere it should be there, and the central council will be headed by this ministry in charge of Department of Consumer Affairs. And here again I will tell you, if you see district place, it is like up to 20 lakh value, state means it's up to 1 crore value, and center means it is above 1 crore value. Okay, the value of consumer complaint, whatever you have to go and complain. Another thing is mentioned here, it also provides for a 3-tier structure of the national and state commissions and district forum for speedy resolution of consumer disputes. Okay, a district forum is headed by a person who is or has been eligible to be appointed as a district judge, and each state commission is headed by who is or has been a judge of High Court. Okay, and it is inexpensive, speedy, summary. So these are all very basic things. Okay, how a commission will be. And if you see here, no complaint can be filed for alleged deficiency in any service that is rendered free of charge or under a contract or personal service. So anything like personal service, contract, or free of charge, these things you cannot go and complain in the consumer forum. Okay, and here National Commission also has been conferred with the powers of administrative control over all the state commissions. This is the second statement we put in the question. So hope it's clear. Again, if you want, you can pause and read all these information given here, okay, if you want to make your own notes. My students would have got the PDF already. The year 2021 will mark the 100th year anniversary of which popular uprising in India? So here this Farezi movement, Ramosi revolt, Kittur rising, Mopla rebellion, all of this in my spectrum lectures already we covered 3-4 years back. I have taken the lectures of this, and we have detailed spectrum test series also. So you would be already knowing if you are my student. And here the answer is Mopla rebellion. And about this, detailed questions are also being given in the new full test which I told, which I am giving this week to my students. There a lot of questions are made on Mopla rebellion because we are expecting, okay, this year or next year question will surely come. So here it is, the 1921 in Malabar, Kerala. First you have to know the locations, important. Mopla rebellion is in Kerala, Kittur rising will be in Karnataka, Ramosi will be in Maharashtra, Pune, and Farizis will be here in the East Bengal. So here if you see, the cultivators of Malabar revolted against the moneylenders and zamindars, against the lack of security of tenure, exorbitant rent and renewal fees. So this is usual, like obviously when you fight with zamindar, moneylender, these will be the reasons. And it later assumed communal color crushed by the government in 1921. Okay, so there Hindu-Muslim type of problems were there, and even now it's like a lot of debates are going on about this rebellion and all. Like it was actually not a freedom movement or something, it was a communal thing, so you should remove it from the name of freedom fighters. The people who were involved here, their name should be removed from the list of freedom fighters. Like that, many things are going on, so a question is expected. Okay, then Farezi movement, well, if you see the timeline, it's much older, 1838 to 62. Okay, here it later amalgamated with the Wahhabi movement. So this Wahhabi movement, Deoband movement, and many other Islamic movements were there in India, and all those with a table and revision chart we have already explained in spectrum. And there also question is expected because the Deoband movement, the Talibanism, these are all linked, and a lot of what to say, TV debates and all these things are going on. So it's always in the news. Okay, these kind of movements which is Islamic. Then leaders, if you see this Shariatullah and Muhammad Mushin, okay, Dadu Miah, he's called. Then degeneration of the Islamic society and loss of power to the British. Hence, its aims were to remove abuses from Islamic society as well as to restore Muslim rule by expelling the British from India. Foundation of the movement by this Shariatullah of Faridpur. The movement under him was mainly religious in character, though he had declared British as enemies. Then his death happened in 1837. Succession of Dadu Mian as the leader. Under him, it became mainly political in nature. His success in mobilizing all the Muslim peasants of East Bengal against zamindars and indigo planters. I've given just points, okay. His arrest and confinement in the Alipur jail. So like this, two leaders are there. One was there, one died, another came. So this happens in every moment. So just know these names and timeline, okay. And here again, Chittur Singh and Umaji is the leaders of Ramosi revolt. Here again, British annexation of Peshwa territory, 1818. Okay, this if you see, it's much older, even older than that one, Farezi movement. Okay, resulting in large-scale unemployment among Ramosis under the Peshwa. They served inferior ranks of police. Then revolt of the Ramosis under Chittur Singh, 1822 to 24. Their revolt under Umaji. Okay, same time. Establishment of peace by British by pardoning all the crimes of Ramosis and also by granting them lands and recruiting them as hill police. And if you see after that, the other one, if you see, which is Kittur rising. Okay, here Channamma is there and Rayappa is there. Karnataka region, 824 timeline. So other one if you see, it is again 822. So Ramosi revolt and this one you can say almost the same timeline. Then death of this one person was there, the chief of Kittur, leaving no male to recognize the adopted issue, refusal of the British son as the Desai, and assumption of administration of Kittur by British. So this was the cause. Okay, when this male was not there and somebody took up the charge, obviously fight will happen. Then revolt, the widow of late Desai in 1824, and murder of English officers including Thackeray, that is collector of Dharwar, conquest of Kittur and its annexation by the British, revolt of the people of Kittur under Rayappa who declared independence and set up the adopted boy as the Desai, capture and execution of Rayappa by British, and death of Channamma in Dharwar prison. So most of the revolt you will see like the leader is either getting killed or getting arrested or he's escaping somewhere. So this is what the 90% of the revolts will happen, okay. But in the end there will be some victory for them also. So like that, try to eliminate options when anything comes of this sort. Tribal movements questions used to come, but we'll see, okay. Now, which of the following is not listed among the 5 pillars under self-reliant India mission? Okay, that is nothing but the Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme. Okay, what is going on? And since last 2 years it is going on. So much detailing, if you go read it, it will be very confusing because a lot of packages are announced and lot of phases, lot of things are there. So you cannot by heart all those things. But the economic survey mentions 5 pillars under it. Okay, so economy is there, vibrant demography is there, demand is there. Okay, services as such is not mentioned. So this one is a chart from economic survey and budget. So economy, infrastructure, system, demography, demand. Okay, you can by heart like SIDED, SIDED. Okay, SIDED. So system, infrastructure, demography, economy, demand. So just by heart it cited these five things are there, and here's the initial package of 20 lakh crore and all these things are there, which again kept on adding up. So that's why I told you cannot learn the detailing, but still I have mentioned here all the initial thing. Okay, last year when the first lockdown was there and they were announcing the Atmanirbhar package and all, main thing it's like we are making our manufacturing sector better. We are not depending on foreign goods. We are saying no to Chinese goods, and then we are make in India and all. We are just renaming it in a very good way. That's all Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Meaning we are trying to make something a movement. Okay, because that's a reality about India. In India, in any scheme, if you put in paper or if you simply pass it on to the states and people, it won't work. You have to make it a movement. Okay, you take Swachh Bharat or you take Digital India, Make in India. Anything has been a success in this country only when you made it a movement. When people were involved and people also felt like they are part of it, only then that scheme has been successful. So you also, if you are planning to become a bureaucrat and you are going to get chances to implement something, you have to see that you take people's confidence in hand. Okay, simply by announcing somewhere one day and then escaping from there and never even showing your face to the people, that scheme is not going to work. Okay, you have to be part of the movement. You have to involve people in part of the movement. Only then you will be a very good implementer of policies. Okay. Now the 5-member KV Kamath committees in news was set up by. Okay, so again, lot of committees are there. I'll give you a revision chart now to my students. We have compiled many bank committees and all these things of the last 2 years. In this, if you see, KV Kamath is a RBI committee. This was again for the usual bank issue which we have, the loan restructuring and all. So one-time restructuring of loan impacted by COVID-19. For that, this was set up. Okay, then in September 2020, they gave some recommendations and all that you pause and see. Not very important because UPSC usually don't ask new committees recommendation. They will ask only the old one, the Sarkaria Commission or some second ARC report. Based on that, they used to ask this new because that many commissions are there. They cannot ask clause of everything. If they ask, it will be difficult for everyone. Okay, still if you want to pause and read, just pause and read. Okay, they have identified some sectors and all. So almost every sector is there. So based on that, whatever he told, you pause and see. Okay, the committee will scrutinize restructuring of loans above 1,500 crore. So this kind of underlined numbers, this alone by heart. Okay, the term of the committee has been extended till June 2030. This I made last year. Maybe after this again, something has happened. This is the last year's MCQ. Okay. Which among the following are true about provisions under the new UAPA, okay, Unlawful Activities Prevention Amendment Bill 2019. So this again, lot of controversy was there. So if you see, the central government may designate an organization as a terrorist organization, not only if it commits terrorism, but also if it promotes terrorism. Okay, so that is true. One is correct. Then the investigation officer is not required to obtain any prior approval to seize properties that may be connected with terrorism. This looks true based on this government's mood and attitude and all, but this is actually not correct. Okay, they have to get the prior approval of the DGP or someone. Okay, that I'll show you in the explanation. Then it lists 9 treaties, including the Convention for the Suppression of Terrorist Bombing and Convention Against Taking of Hostages. This is there. So 1-3 should be the answer here. Okay, so here if you see the full detailing of the bill, okay, 2019, whatever in Lok Sabha they introduced, the full detailing is there, like who may commit terrorism. Okay, so committing, promoting, all these are there under the clauses. Then approval, as you see, prior approval of the Director General of Police to seize properties. Okay, that is required. And then investigation by NIA is there, National Investigation Agency. So this again, pause and see or take a screenshot. And in the next screen, I'll show you again details. Insertion to schedule of treaty. So this, as I told, 9 UN treaties are there. India has also ratified all these things. So these things are included. Okay. Then if you see Nuclear Terrorism Convention, formerly the International Convention for the Suppression of Act of Nuclear Terrorism. This detailing I mentioned because maybe UPSC can ask about that. It is a 2005 treaty designed to criminalize act of nuclear terrorism and to promote police and judicial cooperation to prevent, investigate and punish those act. As of September 2018, the convention has 115 signatory, 114 state party, including all these nuclear powers. Okay, most recently Benin ratified this thing on 2017. So this is all Wikipedia knowledge. So whatever is there, more than that UPSC usually won't ask. So just again, try to read it. Now, as of August 2020, this question, even if I make it 2021, answer will be the same. Okay, which are the following are having legal approval from GEAC to be cultivated, meaning this GM crops are there. Okay, genetically modified BT cotton, BT brinjal, GM mustard, and now there is an HTBT cotton going on. It's there in my latest current affair magazine, HTBT cotton. So all these are there. Many people invent it, test it, and then even illegally cultivate it. But is government giving legal approval? Government is giving legal approval only to BT cotton. Okay, BT brinjal. I'll show you 2-3 varieties in this MCQ where it is like kind of doing next level of trials, even though it was not allowed by government. Okay, first it was allowed. I'll show you. Here if you see BT cotton remains the only GM crops allowed to be cultivated in the country. Okay, and in India there is a body called Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, which is under the Environment Ministry Environment Act. So this also UPSC asked like under which act it was established, under which ministry it is established. So that kind of things also please try to revise more, okay, because this is always in the news. And here if you see BT brinjal was approved once, okay, but again it was not it was told like you should not cultivate it, okay, it was again taken back. So but illegally cultivated thing are there, lot of news is there everywhere every month. And now if you see center has now allowed biosafety research field trials of 2 new transgenic varieties of indigenously developed BT brinjal, okay, in some 8 states. So that all states are not important for you to buy heart. And here if you see the names, okay, Janak and BSS 793, this is of UPSC interest. They may ask like Janak and BSS 793 was in news, what is this? It's a genetically modified maize or rice or wheat or brinjal. You should know it is a brinjal, okay. And here if you see the gene which it contains, it is this BT, the CRI1FA1 gene, okay, just glance through it and you should remember that when you see it next time, it is related to BT brinjal and it is developed by Indian Council for Agriculture Research and its body National Research Center on Plant Biotechnology, okay. So this is important because last year the same one question came on genetic modified something, and what third statement was it is developed by I think Delhi University or some university, they gave wrong, okay, meaning the actual developer they changed the name, and that alone if you could eliminate, you could have got the answer, okay. So try to know that is like ICAR, and these are the 2 names of this thing. And right now only BT cotton is allowed, and there is an HT BT cotton which is being developed, and that also is not being approved till now, okay. So that follow current affairs for that. Devi Chaudarani, Bengali novel, okay. So again if you see these are all revolt, okay, the peasant revolt or the tribal revolt. So here if you see the answer will be Sannyasi Revolt, and about this again go and watch my Spectrum, detailing is there. And Anand Matt is also a book by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. So these books, okay, whether it's Anand Matt or this Devi Chaudarani by this person Bankim Chandra, everything deals with the Sannyasi Revolt which happened in 1772. So it's much older, okay, one of the oldest in this series of video which I showed you now. So it is also known as this Fakir Sannyasi Rebellion, took place at Murshidabad and this some forest of West Bengal. The immediate cause of the revolt was that the British government restricted people from visiting holy places. Then sannyasis and fakirs, along with farmers, evicted landlords, disbanded soldiers, revolted against the British. But the revolt was mercilessly crushed by. Okay, so meaning they lost. Okay, all these people together went. So who participated in this? You can see. Okay, landlords are there, farmers are there, soldiers are there. All these people fought, and it was religious reasons again, because 90% of the revolts was not for independence; it was for religious reasons. Okay, whether it's a Hindu or a Muslim, it was like that only that time. So don't feel like everybody were freedom fighters. They were all fighting the Britishers, but for holy reasons. Okay, most of the people. So this is about the Sannyasi revolt. Now, National Green Tribunal deals with civil cases under 7 laws related to environment. Which of the following is not one of them? So here Water Act is given, Water Cess Act is given, Forest Act 1927 and 1980 is given. So all look similar, so it's difficult for you to choose. So that is why a trick I'll tell you. Here if you see, these are the 7 Act. Okay, Forest, Water both Act is there, Forest Act is there, Air Act is there, Environment, Public Liability Insurance Act and Biology Diversity. So here everything is water, biology and all, so you will remember it. It's not a difficult thing, but the catch is here one public liability insurance is there, which you have to buy heart. It is there, okay, it is included under this, meaning NGT will deal with the cases under this act also. But what is not part of it, if you see the Forest Act, okay, Forest Act 1927, and then Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and then Scheduled Tribe Act 2006. Okay, so if you see here, the trick is here it is 27, here it is 72, and then one 2006 you have to buy heart. So when options are there, you see that okay, 27 is there, it won't be there. If 72 is there, that also won't be there, and then 2006 won't be there, but the others all are there. Okay, don't think like Forest Act fully is not there. Forest Act 1980 is there. Okay, so 1927, 1972, and then 2006, these 3 are not part of it. I am just telling you Wildlife Type Act, okay, which have similar names. There are other thousands of acts in this country, but we don't have to worry about that. Now, which are the following are true about National Green Tribunal? Again, it is less formal, less expensive, and a faster way of resolving environmental related dispute. That is obviously true. India is the first country in the world to set up a specialized environmental tribunal. This may look true, but it is wrong. Okay, because India is the third country. Australia and New Zealand already had this. Okay, but India can be called like the first developing country to do so. Okay, and then remaining are same, whatever is in the question. Okay, appeal of this goes to the Supreme Court. Okay, such kind of factual things UPSC has. So please try to know that. Again, full detailing is given here. The structure: one chairperson, 10 to 20 judicial members, expert members, term is 5 years, not eligible for reappointment. These are very, very simple, crucial things, but in exam hall, sometimes you will get confused. Chairman is appointed by the central government in consultation with Chief Justice of India. Okay. A selection committee shall be formed by central government to appoint the judicial members and expert members. Okay, so to appoint that, central government will put a selection committee, at least 10 and maximum 20 full-time judicial members and expert members in the tribunal. NCT has 5 places of sittings. Delhi is the principal place, then there is Bhopal, Pune, Kolkata, Chennai. Okay, so total 5. And NCT decisions are being challenged in various high courts. Okay, with many asserting the superiority of high court over the NCT. Okay, people think like NCT is like lesser than high court, so we have to go to high court and fight. So that kind of things are there. Okay, high court is a constitutional body, NCT is a statutory body, so this kind of controversies are there. Not very important, but remaining things please try to see. Okay, here if you see, tribunal is not bound by the procedure laid down under Code of Civil Procedure, shall be guided by principle of natural justice. This was a UPSC statement about NCT. Okay, once when they asked it. Which of the following are correct about Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation? That is the Amrit scheme, which was there, I think, since 2015 it was there. So it comes under the Ministry of Tourism. In 2020, it completed 5 years. So second statement will be correct because it came in 2015. But the ministry is Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay. So here you should not confuse this with smart city scheme and all. Smart city is like for 100 cities, we'll have smart cities or something in almost every state. And here it is like 500 cities, all these things will be done. Okay, the sanitation, the hygiene, the transport, we'll make it like a best livable kind of city. Okay, that is the scheme here. And if you see total 1 lakh crore, including central assistance of 50,000 crore spread over 5 years. So this detailing, because it has completed 5 years, it may be important. Okay, else you cannot by heart all the money and detailing of every scheme. But because, as I told, 5 years completion, try to pause and read because I cannot read this fully now for you. Okay. And it followed a decentralized approach, which includes all these things: financial assistance to each state, setting objectives and indicators, seeking service improvement plans from the state, meaning it will federal way work. Okay, center and state will together work and they'll track the progress and they try to complete it. Okay. Which of the following is false about preventive detention under National Security Act 1980? So false means 3 of them should be true. It empowers both the central and state government to detain a person. This should be true. This was the first National Security Act in post-independence India. The maximum period for which one may be detained is 12 months. Preventive detention exists in India right from the British days. So right from the British days it is there, that is true. Now B and C is the confusion. So C is a factual thing and it is correct. It can be detained for 12 months. And it is not the first act, because in 1950s also one act was there, okay, which got expired. And then after that only this National Security Act 1980 came. Okay, so the statement B is false. So here if you see detail, it extends to whole of India. It's a preventive detention law. Preventive detention involved the detainment or containment of a person in order to keep him or her from committing future crimes and or from escaping future prosecution. Okay, it empowers the center or a state government to detain a person to prevent him from acting in any manner prejudicial to national security. Okay, maximum period for which one may be detained is 12 months. And here if you see older act related to the same thing, Bengal Regulation is there, 1818, Defense India Act 1915, Rowlatt Act 1919, Government of India Act 1935, all these are pre-British. And post-British, we have Prevention Detention Act of 1950. It was there till 1969, it got expired, then only 1980 Act came. Okay, then Supreme Court has held that the law of preventive detention has to be strictly construed, and Mcqs complain with the procedural safeguard is mandatory and vital, meaning simply because there is an act, you cannot simply arrest someone and tell it's like preventive detention. There should be reasons for that. That's a basic thing that they have told here, like who all have criticized this act, that section is given here. Okay, and this is the actual article 22, where preventive detention is mentioned. This can be a UPSC question, like they'll ask like this article refers to what, or whether preventive detention is defined or mentioned in the constitution. That kind of questions every year is now coming. Okay, polity questions are coming straightforward from the articles itself, that to article 1 to 30, not beyond that. They're asking very simple things. They're not asking parliament, they're not asking money bill, ordinary bill. They're fully focused on the fundamental rights, DPSP, and the initial things. So please try to by heart all the articles in detail. Okay, any question comes from there, you should be able to score it, because the person sitting next to you will definitely score that 2 marks. So you should also get it. So pause this and read. Which of the following are true about acquisition and cross-serving agreement? Okay, it was recently signed between India and Britain. That is wrong. This was signed between India and Japan. then it will remain in force for next 99 years. This is wrong. It is actually for just 10 years, and then after that they'll renew again. So why this question? Because 2020 exam, similar, like one big agreement name was there, some agreement on something, nuclear partnership something, and that was between, I think, India and Russia. So that was the first time I think UPSC asked a particular agreement, because India goes and signs agreements almost with every country, and every month a prime minister will be going here and there and signing something, or they will come here and we will sign something. So it happens like lot of agreements are there, but UPSC decided to ask an agreement. So it is now important in the future also. Okay, next year also maybe some agreement will come. So please see to that whatever we prepare for you in the test series, that should be definitely studied. Still, if something else comes, it is like maybe difficult for everyone. Okay, as I told, it's for India Japan logistic agreement, and it will remain in force for 10 years, and it will be automatically extended for periods of 10 years unless one of the party decide to end it. Okay, so India has similar agreement with USA, Australia, France, Oman, Singapore. With everyone we have similar agreement of this acquisition and cross service agreement. Okay, so it will have maritime cooperation, supplying the things to each other. Okay, so that just pause and see very basic details. Now, he or she was the first to give the call for Swaraj as India for Indians in 1876, a call later taken up by Lokmanya Tilak or Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who is referred here, meaning who was the first person to tell this India for Indians. Okay, because after that Lokmanya Tilak will tell like Swaraj is my birthright and all these things, but who first told India for Indians in 1876? So timeline, if you know itself, you can eliminate some people, but here answer will be Dayanand Saraswati. Okay, so about him also questions nowadays it's not coming, so please try to study. Okay, he was an Indian philosopher, social leader, founder of this Arya Samaj in 1875, and he is like this Vedic dharmas and karma and all these things he was involved with. He attacked the Puranas, polytheism, idolatry, child marriage, domination of priestly class, all these things he attacked. Then they also worked for the protection of widows and other social work like providing victims, natural or man-made calamities. Okay, any problems they will take care. Then this motto is there, Krinvanto Vishwam Aryam, which means to make the world noble. Okay, this also can be potential UPSC question. So renouncing the idolatry and ritualistic worship prevalent in India at that time, he worked towards reviving Vedic ideologies. Subsequently, the philosopher and president of India, S. Radhakrishnan, called him one of the makers of modern India, as did Sir Aurobindo. Okay, those who were influenced by and followed Dayananda included all these people. Okay, so if you see Savarkar is there, this Shyamji Krishnavarma, all these people you would have been knowing, but these are all like influenced by Dayanand's teachings. Okay, this M.G. Ranade is there, Bismil, Lala Lajpat Rai. Okay, Shyamji Krishnavarma, he established the Indian Home Rule Society and Indian House in England. Okay, so this also UPSC have asked once, Indian Home Rule Society and Indian House in England. He was a sannyasi from boyhood and a scholar. He believed in the infallible authority of the Vedas. I think this was the UPSC statement long back, which in the 90s UPSC asked who told or who believed in infallible authority of the Vedas. It will be Dayanand Saraswati. He advocated the doctrine of karma and reincarnation. He emphasized the Vedic ideals of brahmacharya, including celibacy and devotion to God. Okay, so it will be like kind of Jainism kind of concept is there here. Then among Dayananda's contributions, whereas promoting of equal rights for women, such as the right to education, reading Indian scriptures, reading Vedas, okay, in Sanskrit as well as Hindi. Then Satyartha Prakash, Sanskrit with the Rigved Bhashyam are work related to him. Okay, he also established Vedic school for education of girls and boys of all caste. The students of these schools were given free books, clothing, lodging, food, and were taught the Vedas and other ancient scriptures. So this books also studies Satyartha Prakash, Sanskar Vidhi, and Rigved Bhashyam. The term minority is not defined in Indian Constitution. That is true. It is not defined. Okay. The Constitution recognizes both religious and linguistic minority. That is true. Currently, the linguistic minorities are identified on a state-wise basis, thus determined by the state government, whereas religious minorities are determined by the central government. This is also true. So all three should be true. But minority, it should be defined somewhere, right? It is defined in the National Commission for Minorities Act 1992. Okay. It defines a minority as a community notified as such by the central government. So that is the definition which is given. So that means obviously center has to declare it. So Government of India has declared 6 religions, Muslims, Christians, Sikh, Buddhist, Parsis, that is Zoroastrians, and Jain as a religious minority. Jain was the last one, okay, to be added. Under this act, the government formed the National Commission for Minority, which consists of a chairperson, a vice chairperson, and 5 members. It observes 18th December as Minority Rights Day. Then again, basic things not important. Then Supreme Court has dismissed a plea seeking guidelines to identify and define religious minorities in every state to protect their cultural interest. As I told, state will recognize the linguistic minority, but some plea was there like state should be able to recognize this religious minority, but that Supreme Court told it is not possible. So the articles, Article 29 and 30 again. Okay, so Article 22, one question I showed you, 29 I showed you, 30 I showed you. So this is why I told you, if you solve my test series alone, whatever UPSC asks will be there in my material itself. Okay, but only thing is you should have dedicatedly studied when that time I gave it. Okay, so pause it and read. These are just basic things within the Lakshmikant also it's there, in the Constitution also it's there. I take it from indianqanun.com. That's a website where like this crisp points will be given, easy to read and easy to understand. So you can Google that. Okay, indianqanun.com. Now a site, Viyanam, Mahi, Serampur, Pulikat, all this in my spectrum lectures I've taught you. Description is given. You have to identify which one we are describing. 1502, Portuguese established a trading post here with the help of the Vijayanagara rulers. 1609, Portuguese built a fort here and held this fort until 1609 when they were defeated by the Dutch. Okay, the Dutch occupied this fort in 1609. So Portuguese were there, then the Dutch took it, and then it was made the Dutch capital. And then after that, British occupied it. So 90% of things are like that only. Finally, everything British took it. So this, which place are we describing? It is Pulikat. Pulikat already UPSC question has come. Like it passes through 2 states. Something like that was there, and it was true. Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu it touches. So here, if you see, Paraver Kadu is it's a old name. Okay, historic seashore town. UPSC is asking older names. So please study this. It's in Tamil Nadu. A shallow saltwater lagoon. Here, if you see this SEZ regions and all is there, and it's a bird sanctuary there. There's a flamingo is there. Flamingo festival also, I think it happens there. And then this Fort Geldria or Geldaria is located here. And it was a capital, as I told. And all these are question statements, whatever I told. 1502, 1609, 1690, and then 1825, British will occupy it and make it under the Madras Presidency, which later became the Madras State in independent India and renamed Tamil Nadu in 1968. So this detailing of a place is given so that any statement comes, you will be able to answer. Now, 2014 UPSC question it is, if a wetland of international importance is brought under the Montreux record, what does it imply? So here 4 options are here. The answer is directly the first one. Changes in ecological character have occurred, are occurring, or are likely to occur in the wetland as a result of human interface, meaning humans go and disturb it and some problem happened, then it is put under the Montreux record. And also once it's put under Montreux record, it's not like permanently it will be there. If it is recovering or it is now maintained well, then it will again be put back out, okay, put out of it, and it will remain just a Ramsar site. So example is also there from India itself, I'll show you. So other options if you want, pause and see, but it's not important because it will take more time. So here Montreux record is established in 1990. Okay, you should know Ramsar site and all is like since 1970s or something it is there. But Montreux record is a little newer thing. It includes all those wetlands where changes in ecological character are occurring or occurred or likely to occur by anthropogenic activity, that is human activities. Okay, so this Kailodeo National Park and Loktak Lake from India are now included there. Okay, Kailodeo National Park and Loktak Lake. It is there, and Chilka was also there, but it was removed. As I told, it can be put and it can be put out also. So it was put out. Ramsar list, you know, international important wetlands, everything will be put under that. It's very important this year because 4 new sites, 2 from Gujarat and I think 2 from Haryana. The names also important. You should go and study. It's there in my current affair test. Those 4 were newly added this year. Okay, so now we have 40 or 50 sites are there, and the locations are important. Map question will come. And there are transboundary Ramsar site also, meaning it is like across national boundaries or across states it is passing. Then the world's first Ramsar site is here in Australia. Chilka Lake was the first wetland to be included in Ramsar from India. Uttar Pradesh has highest, that is around 7. Okay, and again you should go and check because every year, as I told, it's getting added, so it can change the count. And if you see in 1975 this came into force. Ramsar is just a place name. Okay, it's a place in Iran. Okay, and it is not part of the United Nations and UNESCO System of Environmental Convention. It is a totally different thing, and it is not legally binding also. So there is no punitive sanctions. These are UPSC's favorite type of statements. Okay, it's an intergovernmental treaty. Okay, so whatever is given here, these are the maximum UPSC is going to ask. Okay, and the current affair things related to it. 2000. This number is not important because I told number would have changed. Which of the following are true about UN Habitat's new strategic plan 2020 to 2023? It was adopted at the something it's given, it will obviously wrong. This is a trick again I'm telling you. Whenever they tell a origin or when it was signed or when it got into force, 90% UPSC will give it wrong. Okay, Then it repositions UN Habitat as a major global entity, a center of excellence and innovation. So that's a straightforward statement. That should be true. So answer is 2 only. And here if you see, it's in the 2017 some session it got adopted, not 2019. And then remaining details you just pause and see. Okay. So it's about UN Habitat making global entity, central excellence, innovation. Very basic things will be given, not like takeaways inside is not too much. Only where it was signed and when it was into force. Which of the following are true about greenhouse gas protocol? So again, it was jointly convened by I have given something, and as I told, whenever it is given like that, the bodies, it will be wrong. Okay, so one is wrong. Then carbon removal standard, land sector guidance, bioenergy guidance are among greenhouse gas protocols and standards. So this, as I told, this can be true. Okay, so answer will be again 2 only. So here if you see, it is by World Business Council for Sustainable Development, WBCSD, and World Resource Institute, WRI. This also in I think 2016 prelims this was asked. Okay, so you should know about this. This Business of Sustainable Development and WRI, they together made this protocol. And under this protocol, there are many things. But the detailing, if you see, this Resource Institute is a global research organization that turns big ideas into actions at the nexus of environment, economic opportunity, and human well-being. And this Business Council, if you see, it's a global CEO-led organization of over 200 leading business working together to accelerate the transition to sustainable world. Okay, so again, it's a global kind of organization where many people are coming together, funding is there, and they are doing it. Okay, it's not like a United Nations thing or something. It's a standalone thing. So these two together have done other things also. This GSC protocol, carbon removal, land sector initiative. Okay, all these comes under that only, the main protocol. Okay. So here if you see, community scale greenhouse gas inventories are there. In that again, if you see, it's developed by these people, C40 City Climate Leadership, then this local government for sustainability. Like this, few people came together and made this global protocol for community scale greenhouse gas inventory. So these are very rarely in the news and little difficult also. But UPSC last 5 years question paper, if you take, at least one environment summit is there, which is not regularly in the news, which is not like India is not participating in it. India has no connection with it, but still because it's from somewhere they will pick up and ask. Okay, that is why we are mentioning such questions also. Which of the following is false about Wildlife Conservation Trust? So it is a member of the advisory board of the Global Tiger Forum. That is true. It aims to reduce anthropogenic pressure on forest and river system. A general statement, that is also true. Roadkill app was launched by this body. That is also true. Okay, so false means none of these are false. So here if you see, it aims to reduce this pressure on forest and environment. It is envisioned to preserve and protect India's rich natural heritage, and the effects of linear infrastructure cutting across wildlife habitat and corridors through the citizen science project Roadkill. Meaning Roadkill is nothing but an app kind of thing. Like if you see an animal died or dead on the road or railway, you can take the photo and even GPS tag it and then send it to that someone, and they will take care of it. And more signboards will be put there, and they will see to it that more roadkills don't happen. Okay, so that tracking and monitoring app is that. Okay, UPSC already asked about the M-Stripes app, which is for tiger census. So it's in the same area. That is why this is also expected question. So if you see WCT, it is in the advisory board of Global Tiger Forum, and also in the National Tiger Conservation Authority, in the State Board of Wildlife. All these places it is having a role. So it is not a very like less important body. It is important. Okay, Wildlife Conservation Trust is a very important body in India. Project E-Green Watch is closely associated to. So E-Green Watch means obviously it is something to monitor something, right? It's a watch kind of thing. So Green Climate Fund, Green Growth Equity Fund, Compensatory Afforestation Fund, and National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. So this green, you can see it is something related to Indian forest. You can assume, just telling you how to study it. It is actually Compensatory Afforestation Fund. You know, whenever we cut a tree and all, there is a compensation there to plant the tree again. So that fund, okay, which is there since long time in our country, to monitor that, Supreme Court told we should have something, and that is why this Project E-Green Watch was come into force. Okay, so if you see 10 July 2009, they told something. Okay, Campa and all, what it is, you pause and see. It is same thing what I told, afforestation when you cut the trees, and the fund for that. So the full detailing, 2-3 pages of their overview page I have taken from their About Me page only. That if you want, you can just glance through, but question rarely it will come from that. So that Supreme Court told all these things. You have to set up something to track it and monitor it and then do it on time. So for that, this thing was set up. Okay, Project E-Green Watch was set up. So full detailing and its features, general description, everything is mentioned here. Just go through it. In case a mains something related to afforestation comes, you can get lot of points from here. That is why it's put here. Okay, the notes. Now, green card, yellow card, red card are given during revalidation process of which one? UNICEF Welfare NGOs, UNESCO Global Geopark, Interpol Associates, IUCN Protected Areas. So this, when you see color coding and all, 90% of people go and mark IUCN, but that is different thing. Okay, that is a red list and pink book and all. That's a different thing. This is green card, yellow card, red card. Actually, it's a revalidation process, meaning you give a tag to something and then when you revalidate it, you give some card. There's actually answer is UNESCO Global Geopark. Okay, UNESCO is giving heritage sites, intangible sites, biosphere park. UNESCO is having a lot of list. Okay, they're maintaining. So there is something called Global Geopark also, but you don't know it because Indian even one site is not there inside that. Okay, India's even one thing is not there under UNESCO Global Geopark, so we don't know about it. Okay, but it's there in the news, and for a period of 4 years it gives that tag. After that, a revalidation will be there, evaluators are there, and they will give card. Okay, red card, blue card, yellow card, green card, so they will give card. Okay, so what is the meaning of each card? You pause and see, not very important, but they'll be giving it. Okay, and if you see here, out of the 161 geoparks in the world, not a single belongs to India. Okay, so when it started and what are the detailing, if you see, it's a single unified geographical area where sites and landscape of international geological significance are managed with a holistic concept of protection, education, and sustainable development. So geological sites are given this thing. Okay, what are my approaches there? 2001 it started, 17 European, 8 Chinese. So these kind of things very like basic things. Okay, but the important thing I've already formed in the question, this green card, yellow card, and red card, and India does not have anything under it, and it is given by UNESCO. Which of the following are true about housing price index? So it is released by Niti Aayog. It uses a base year of 2011-12. The first ever housing price index was launched more than a decade ago in India. So all looks kind of negative statements because whenever it tells a body or an year or a time, always it will be wrong. But here the option, there is nothing like none of these. So we have to see the best ones which you can eliminate. Okay, it's not by Niti Aayog, it's actually by National Housing Bank. Okay, and even RBI has another housing pricing index. So one definitely cannot be true. So if you eliminate one itself, you will get the answer as 3 only. And base year is not 2011-12, it was made 2018, I think. Okay, it was updated and made 2018. So here if you see, Residex is India's first official housing price index. Okay, that captures the price ranges of residential housing. So in 2007, National Housing Bank covering 26 cities, they made it, and it helps buyers and sellers to check and compare prices before entering a transaction. Okay, and its components are this housing price index at market price, at assessment price. So this detail again, pause and see what they are mentioning here. And new updates, if you see, it's expanded to 50 cities now, and the base year has been moved from 2007 to 2012 and then later to 2017. And it is released on quarterly basis by National Housing Bank. RBI also publishes something like this in a quarterly basis since 2007. Initially for Mumbai city alone with a base year of 2002. Now it is expanded to 10 cities with a base year of 2010. So it collects house registration data from respective authority from these 10 cities. So this is kind of a little bit smaller for 10 cities only and different base year. But this one is like for 50 cities and for a different base year. But both are quarterly reports. Okay, one is NHB, National Housing Bank, and one is RBI. And then which of the following are true with respect to global hard currency and soft currency? So Indian rupee recently got tagged as hard currency. Soft currency can be traded globally much easier than hard currency, which is limited. So this, if you see, both are made up statements. Nothing like that is there. I'll tell you what is hard currency and soft currency. It is like the most important one or the most stronger one. Strong currency is like hard currency. Okay. So, foreign exchange. Foreign exchange is usually related to buying and selling of currencies of different countries. In trade, currencies of different countries are broadly categorized as hard and soft currency. There is no specific formula or rule which categorizes any particular currency as hard or soft. Meaning a strong currency, we consider it as hard currency. Okay, like meaning it's a strong nation like USA, UK, Japan and all, they consider. So this kind of countries, okay, and the currency of such a nation is expected to remain stable over a period of time. These currencies are traded throughout the world and have a stable purchasing power. Most of the international deals and contracts are signed in terms of such currencies as their value doesn't fluctuate much over time. Okay, so here US dollar, euro, British pound, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, Australian Canadian dollar, these are examples of the stable hard currencies. Okay, and here is soft currency. It is like most of the developing countries because it's not too stable. It is fluctuating based on the other higher strong currency and all. So many fluctuations are happening. Okay, and here example they are giving Zimbabwe dollar, Venezuela and all. These are the two examples definitely of soft currency. India's and all, you cannot correctly tell where it is. So it is like mentioned, developing countries should be this one. Okay, because the exchange rate, everything will keep depending on the hard currency. Okay. Soft currencies are unlikely to be held by central banks as foreign reserves, unlike US dollars, euro, and Japanese yen. Because we keep dollars and all these things, but other countries may not keep rupees with them. Okay, so like that, hard currency, soft currency. Which are the following are true about capital buffer norms? This again, economics, just by hearting terminology. It is a mechanism under Basel III norms. You have to know something called Basel III norms is there. Okay, which is about the international bank and the standards which everybody, if they want, they can follow. It's not mandatory. So again, penalties charged by BIS, that is Bank of International Settlement, for not maintaining capital conservation buffer. So there is no penalty, as I told. It is not imposed on anyone. They tell the rules. We can adopt it and use it or not follow it. So penalty, nothing is there. Okay, so 2 is wrong. And then RBI had initially decided to implement a counter-cyclic capital buffer, but not capital conservation buffer. So this again, these are different capital norms, okay, under this capital buffer norms. But India, actually RBI decided to implement both, okay, but they may or may not follow it or implement it, but they decided to implement both, okay. So statement 2 and 3 both are wrong. Answer should be one only, okay. So as I told, Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, they keep releasing these norms, like one conservation buffer, one counter-cyclic buffer. So what is the meaning of all this also I'll tell you. Okay, RBI anyway decided to do both, and as I told, there is no penalty if you don't follow these norms. So counter-cyclic, okay, if it's the name itself, meaning some problem happens, some recession happens or some problem in the business cycle, something happens and you need a buffer to cope up with that problems. For that you maintain a buffer, that is called counter-cyclic capital buffer, okay, very simple English term it is. So that there is no rules or this thing like this much should be, that much should be, it is like your choice how much to keep. But here capital conservation buffer, the main one, here if you see, it was introduced after 2008 global financial crisis, and here there are rules like it should be 2.5% above the minimum capital requirement, meaning already I told you there is something called Basel norms. Under that Basel norms there is something called capital adequacy ratio, meaning how much capital you should keep, okay, that is 9%, that is already existing, it is not under this, it is already existing 9%. So now this capital conservation buffer should be 2.5% above that, okay. So 2.5% plus 9%, that much you should keep the capital conservation buffer. So that is what is the rules given for this. So that again, detailing not very important, but I'm just telling you the difference between these two. One is for the business cycle problems and all that you use thing, and that there is no rules and all. Here for any crisis or anything which happens, even if there is no recession, if there is nothing, but there is some loan issue, there is some NPA issue, anything happens and you need money, okay, to recover the bank's problems, then for that you have to maintain, and for that there are specific criteria mentioned here. So this also again, if you want pause and read, RBI anyway told we will follow it, then because of COVID we told it we will postpone it. So like that it keeps happening, but anyway there is no penalty and all if you don't follow. So just pause and see all the detailing, but the basic difference I have told you what is the difference between these two. Now ways and means advances, okay, again RBI thing. So it is related to what? Okay, it is related to actually receipt and payment of the government, okay. So government, you know, always raises money, okay, raises money from here and there, but instead if it could get from RBI itself, that's a good thing, right? So that getting money, okay, that is called this ways and means advances. So that they would have given detailed notes and all to confuse you, but the basic thing is that only government getting money from the RBI. So introduced in 1997 to meet mismatches in the receipt and payment of the government. The government can avail immediate cash from the RBI if required, but it has to return the amount within 90 days. Interest is charged at the existing repo rate. You know, when money is taken, this much interest will be there. Now, if it exceeds 90 days, it will be treated as an overdraft. Okay, and that time the interest rate also will be higher, 2% more than the repo rate. So like the clauses are there. The limit for ways and advance means are decided by the government, meaning how much you can take from the RBI and all that limit government itself is deciding. Okay, not alone, government and RBI mutually they will decide and periodically revise it also. Recently this limit and all was hiked, okay, the government hiked the limit like this much more we can take from the RBI and all. So that is why it was in news. So if UPSC asks a question what it is related to, RBI and government, that is the main thing. And what it is like the receipt and payment of the government related thing. Okay, any mismatch is there, for that our government will go and borrow from the RBI. So that thing is called ways and means advances scheme. So this was the questions today. I think the session went a little lengthier than expected, but see to it that you study the basic, okay, not just the answer, but that one line or two line explanation which I am talking and telling you, that is what you have to learn mainly, okay, because other explanations will be very detailed and it's more main specific also, but prelim specific I am trying to tell it out itself when I am talking to you, okay. So hope it is helping you. I'll anyway do it till prelims. Watch other lectures also, as I told, it is important for you, and I'll come up with the next video soon. Thank you and have a nice day.